Good afternoon. Today, as you have figured out, the state made a motion to nollie pros the charges against Jussie Smollett and to seal the record in this case. We believe that it was the correct result in this case. We're very happy for this result, and we are very anxious for Jussie to get on with his career and his life and to move forward. I'll take any questions.
Was this part of a deferred prosecution deal?
This is not, there is no deferred prosecution. The motion was to nollie pros, which is a legal technical term for dismiss the charges.
Why did he give up the bond money?
Jussie voluntarily agreed to the forfeiture of the bond money.
So is this
We believe to the city of Chicago, but we don't know.
So is this a deal or not a deal if he's giving up his bond?
There is no deal. The state dismissed the charges.
Was this part of the agreement?
We have nothing to say to the police department except to investigate charges and not try their cases in the press, but to allow matters to be investigated, allow the state to investigate and to bring charges, and not to jump ahead and utilize the press to convict people before they are tried in a court of law.
Are you going to seek legal recourse for the city? Are you going to seek legal recourse to the city or the two brothers?
Next question.
You won't say whether you'll seek recourse? Nothing answer that?
Do you think that the city put a lot of attention on Mr. Smollett because of the pressure that is coming from not just here in Chicago, but with all the attention nationwide?
I have no idea what occurred in this case and why it occurred. I can just say that things seem to spiral somewhat out of control. We've gotten to a result that is the right result in this case, and we're happy for that.
And does this have to do with the interviews with the Allegero?
I have no idea what. Plenty of people forfeit their bond in situations like this. Jussie is, and as if you were in the courtroom, heard the prosecutor say, and we made sure that the prosecution knew. He is someone who has dedicated his life to public service since he was 15 years old. He has taken the city of Chicago as his home. He has volunteered in a variety of ways. He is a good, solid citizen of the city of Chicago. That was the comment made by the prosecutor today. And the Ondero brothers said more than once that the $3,500 check they received was for exactly what Jussie said. It was for nutrition and training. They were his trainers. That statement was not true. I don't know where the superintendent got that information. I was not privy to it, and quite frankly have not seen that footage. So I have no idea where that came from, which is why you should allow investigation and allow the state to investigate a charge before you go to the press. I have no idea. I don't have information that the state would have as to why they brought these charges. I don't know. You'd have to ask the state. The two men who attacked him have indicated that they attacked him, so we already know who attacked him. Those brothers have. Well, that's up to the state.
To be clear, the $10,000 is that a condition of dropping the charges, forfeiting that money?
No.
The two men who attacked
why agree to do that?
Why is he doing it?
Well, the two brothers have said that they attacked him, so
If he's a victim,
we don't want to try them in the press any more than he wanted to be tried in the
So
press.
why was the decision made to forfeit the bond to the city?
That decision was made so that he could go on with his life and get this over with and not have to fight and not have to continue with all of the disruption to his career. He is a very sweet individual who has for a lifetime dedicated himself to his career, to the public, to children, to the movement in the LGBTQIA community. And this was a disruption to that. He wants to get back to it. I'll allow you to hear from him briefly, and then we're gone.
Hey, everybody. I just made a couple notes. First of all, I want to thank my family, my friends, the incredible people of Chicago and all over the country and the world who have prayed for me, who have supported me, who've shown me so much love. No one will ever know how much that has meant to me, and I will forever be grateful. I want you to know that not for a moment was it in vain. I've been truthful and consistent on every single level since day one. I would not be my mother's son if I was capable of one drop of what I've been accused of. This has been an incredibly difficult time, honestly one of the worst of my entire life. But I'm a man of faith, and I'm a man that has knowledge of my history, and I would not bring my family, our lives, or the movement through a fire like this. I just wouldn't. So I want to thank my legal counsel from the bottom of my heart, and I would also like to thank the state of Illinois for attempting to do what's right. Now, I'd like nothing more than to just get back to work and move on with my life. But make no mistakes, I will always continue to fight for the justice, equality, and betterment of marginalized people everywhere. So again, thank you for all the support, thank you for faith, and thank you to God. Bless y'all. Thank you very much.
Jesse, are your attackers still out there?
Jesse, do you feel vindicated? Do you want the brothers prosecuted? The Chicago police are wondering if you might want to reimburse them, if you would reimburse them for the money spent into this investigation. Do you have any word for that? How do you feel about all this, Jesse?
Okay, everything good? Look good then. Turn over to women. Turn over to women.
Jesse, will you still do community service here in the city of Chicago, or do you have better feelings about the city?
I have no bitter feelings about Chicago. I love Chicago. Chicago has been my home. Chicago has been such a great home for Empire. I will never, ever, ever say anything about the city of Chicago. People of Chicago are wonderful. I will always be with the city of Chicago.
How does this left you feeling, this whole ordeal?
Congratulations.
Did you hope this day would come, Jesse? Did you expect this to come? Do you have any words for the LGBTQ community and the folks who have supported you?
That I am you, that I stand with you forever.
And
Yeah.
they've supported you throughout all of this?
I love them. I love them. I'm one of them, so I love them.
And you've been getting a lot of congratulations today from folks on this
Something
day?
like that.
Yeah. How about your cast members?
They're wonderful. They're my family.
Yeah, and they've been sending you praise
They've
and love
been
today.
wonderful. Everybody's been wonderful the whole time, the whole ordeal.
Are you going back to work on the set? Do you have any more days left on the set of Empire, Jesse, or are you guys done for the season? Thank you for answering my questions. All right. Jesse, are you upset with Chicago PD by any chance?
No comment.
Okay. Praise for your Mark Aragostin and Landian. Are you pleased with the work that they've done today?
We got so many. Jesse, can you talk to us about how you feel? And what's going on? We got plenty of stuff.
How do you plan to spend the rest of the
Don't worry, you got support.
us, please. We're sorry.
All right, guys. Thank you.
How you feel, Jesse?
Wonderful.
You feel good?
You feel vindicated?
You
How do
look
you feel?
good?
Jesse, do you have a message to get you? Do you have a message to get you, Jesse?
You should have your job back. Jesse, you should have your job back.
Good.
You're a conqueror, Jesse.
Jesse, yes. See you on fire. See you on fire. See ya. Yes. Don't pull that shit no more. Bye, Jesse. We hope not to see you again. Only on Empire.
Ten-4.
There trying to talk to Jesse Smollett. It was very clear certain questions he was not going to answer. The Chicago police specifically called me and asked me to ask him if he planned to reimburse the city for all the man hours that went into the investigation. I asked him if he wanted the brothers charged. He didn't answer that. Well, when I asked him some personal questions about how he feels about the city of Chicago, you saw him get very demonstrative and very emotional. As he was standing there waiting for his ride, you could see the bottom lip of his was quivering. He was clearly overcome with emotion, but he had a lot of very kind things to say about the city of Chicago. He has no bitterness, no ill will, and that he loves the city of Chicago, and that he feels very vindicated. That was the first question I asked him. I said, do you feel vindicated? And he turned to me and he said, yes, I do. I have tweeted a lot of things that have come from the Chicago Police Department that I know for a fact that Jesse Smollett's legal team has taken exception to, but this was me simply tweeting the facts as I knew them based on what Chicago police were telling me. So in meeting with Jesse Smollett, I know he's aware of who I am as a reporter, but we did have a very pleasant conversation when we talked about the situation and in terms of how he feels right now. I asked if he's going to continue shooting Empire. He didn't give an answer on that, but he says he's getting a lot of calls, a lot of congratulations, and a lot of support. So it appears that this is very much behind him. He claims he's not carrying a grudge towards the city, but I did ask him how he felt about the Chicago Police Department, and I could tell he was getting a little frustrated with that, and he said, I have no comment. So not really masking his feelings in terms of how he feels about the Chicago Police. His legal team making it clear inside that they feel that CPD prosecuted this in the media and not in a court of law. So he is harboring some ill will in that regard, but still says that he loves this city and presumably now will continue to work on the hit show Empire and come back to the city time and time again.
Yeah, I was here from the very beginning. I was one of the first people to actually see Jesse Smollett with his family and the attorneys making their way into Layton Criminal Courthouse. From the very beginning, it was very clear of how this case would go down, because when Jesse Smollett walked past just the two cameras that were there, ours and another media outlet, he was smiling. So I knew right away that he knew that there was going to be good news inside of that courtroom. So I did capture that and put that information out on Twitter. Now, I rode up on the elevator with Jussie Smollett, his family, and his legal team, and they were cracking jokes the entire time. I decided to go inside that courtroom and sit behind him in the gallery before he actually went before Judge Steve Watkins, and I can tell you that he wasn't in there very long. It was very clear of what the state was saying. They actually said, and I did write some notes from it after reviewing details and evidence, the state says Jussie Smollett's work in the community is why they are axing the case. That's a portion of why they decided to axe the case. Now, I know there was a question of if he actually did community service in relation to this case. No, they're talking about his ongoing community service that he's continued just as an actor on Empire. And so I actually talked to Jussie Smollett before he came out and concluded with that press conference that we saw that was on the inside of Layton Criminal Courthouse. And he was very straight up with me that he did not feel like he got a fair shake in the press. And I mean, that's really what it came down to. At that very moment, he was actually watching what the press was reporting about him. So that tells you that he cares about his character and he cares about where he is right now. But still, we don't have any answers as to what actually happened to Jussie Smollett. We heard what Chicago police said. We heard what the state said. And now we have a big question mark. So that is the very latest from outside of Layton Criminal Courthouse. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.